Good morning, my friends. I hope you're doing well out there. Um, haven't been doing that much music. I am not on YouTube or anything, but I am doing it here. I'm just working on some stuff, and so I'm not putting anything out yet. I'm just sort of in flux right now. Um, but I'll hopefully be doing some more music as I get towards the end of the weekend, or towards the weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, something like that, Sunday, and so yeah, it's just my journey. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about um, your the importance of taking care of your soul and really nourishing that part. And what I mean by that is to um, take time in the morning to to talk to the Lord when maybe when you first get up. Like when you have to do certain things. Like take your medicine or whatever like that. But I would say start with the Lord. First of all, and taking care of your soul and is also not just having that time with the Lord and choosing the Holy Spirit every day of your life to guide you and to direct your steps, but also does not that put you in alignment with the Lord, but it also puts you in alignment with how you go throughout your day. And you want to also have people in your life, have a social life where you're having lots of friends and people who care about you and who nourish you and nourish your soul, because that also nourishes your body too. Having love and having friendships goes it connects with your soul, that also connects with your body and helps nourish you. And those are things that are just being discovered about. And it also, having plenty of nutrients in your body also helps with reversing so many diseases like Alzheimer's and heart disease and that kind of thing. So how you look at your world, what you're doing, your peace, that you're striving for, all of that comes into play when you first put your life in alignment with the Lord. And that is just so important for your body to take time for your soul. And because that's the only thing that's going with you to heaven, okay? Everything else is not important. Your body stays here, your friends stay here, your possessions stay here. You don't take anything with you but your soul. So what's most important? Your soul, okay? And so that's why I think it's important when I'm reading here that we understand what happening, what's going to be happening later, but also to understand what we should be doing here to prepare for later, okay? And I think that's when Swedenborg, when that it's important to read him and to understand even more than we do now, that we're not getting from the pulpits. Although I think some churches are starting to understand that, more and more. So we finished on page 153, and he was talking about how the body works and the inner workings of the body, and how back in his day people didn't know that much about the anatomy, let me tell you, and we still don't know that much. But if more doctors read Swedenborg, I think they'd be amazed. Anyway, there are some of the mysterious workings of the soul in the body, and there are many others. Most people are unaware of them. People who are not trained in anatomy know nothing about them. Yet things like this are going on in deeper reaches of our own mind, since nothing can happen in the body unless it comes from the mind. The mind is our spirit, and the spirit is just as much a person as we are. The only difference is that things that happen in the body happen on a physical level, and the things that happened in the mind happened on a spiritual level. This is the perfect parallelism. We can see that the divine providence, or God's rule, works in thousands of ways, more mysterious in each of us, and that its constant effort is to purify us. This is because it is focused on the goal of saving us. And all that is required of us is that we set aside the evils in our outer self. The Lord takes care of the rest if we ask. The Lord cannot fully lead evil people away from their evils and guide them in what is good, as long as they believe that their own intelligence is everything and that divine providence is nothing, or God's rule is nothing. It seems as though we can lead ourselves away from evil if we only think that it is against the common good, impractical, and against national and international law. Evil people can do this just as well as people, if by birth or by training they are the kind of people who think to themselves with analytic and rational clarity. However, we still cannot lead ourselves away from evil. This is because while the Lord gives the ability to understand and appreciate things abstractly to everyone, evil and good alike, as already noted by a number of times, such understanding still does not enable us to lead ourselves away from evil. Evil is a matter of our volition, and our discernment does not flow into our volition except to give it light, to illuminate it, and to instruct it. If the warmth of our volition, that is our life's love, is hot because of obsessions with evil, it is cold toward any desire for what is good. This means that it does not accept the light, but reflects it back or stifles it, or turns it into evil by inventing some distortion. Winter sunlight, which is just as bright as summer sunlight, does the same thing when it flows into frozen trees. However, it will be easier to see this in the following sequence. When our volition is devoted to evil, our own intelligence sees nothing but falsity. It neither wants to see anything else nor is able to. If our own intelligence does see anything true at such times, it either turns away or falsifies it. Divine providence is constantly making sure that we see what is true, giving us desire to both appreciate it and accept it. In this way, we are led away from evil, not by ourselves, but by the Lord. So when evil attacks us, and we know we're being attacked, the best thing that we can do is just give it to the Lord and say, Lord, I can't do this. I need you to do this for me. I need you to lead me away from this. Because we can't do it ourselves. So this item needs to be explained in sequence, though, so that whether rational people are evil or good, whether their light is winter sunlight or summer sunlight, they will see them in the same colors. When our volition is devoted to evil, our own intelligence sees nothing but falsity. It neither wants nor is able to see anything else. I have often been shown this in the spiritual world. When we become spirits, what happens after death? All of us take off our physical bodies and put on spiritual ones. We are then led alternately into two basic states of life, the outer one and the inner. Then when we are in the outer state, we talk and act rationally, wisely, just as like any rational, wise individual in this world. We tell others tremendous numbers of things about moral and civic living. We are ministers. We can teach about spiritual living as well. However, when we leave that outer state and come into the inner one, when our outer one becomes dormant and the inner one is awakened, then if we are evil people, it's a different scene. We become sense-centered instead of rational, insane instead of wise. Our thinking is prompted by evil, our volition and its pleasure. which means that we are thinking with our own intelligence. We cannot see anything except what is false, or to do anything except what is evil. We believe that malice is wisdom, craft is prudence. Our own intelligence convinces us that we are demigods, and our whole mind is thirsty for appalling skills. I've seen this kind of insanity any number of times, and I've also seen people shift back and forth between those two states 2 or 3 times in a single hour, which enable them to see and recognize their insanity. But still, they still did not want to stay in their rational moral state, or of their own accord they turned back to their inner sensatory insane state. They loved it more than the other because that's where they found the pleasure of their life's love, where they were most comfortable, I guess. So who would think that evil people are like this under the surface when they experience such metamorphosis when they go within? This experience alone shows what our own intelligence is like when its evil intent is in control of our thinking and action. It's different for good people. When they shift from their outer to their inner state, they become even wiser and more decent. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So that's a lot to chew on. And if you're going through something right now where you're being tempted, where you're having problems in your life or your relationships or your friendships, remember, we need to be in alignment with the Lord. Our souls need to be given over to the Lord and led by the Lord so that He can help lead us out of that evil that we're in. I hope that you have a blessed day, and leave me a comment. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I know that I've gotten new subscribers because of the shepherd's diet that I have mentioned in the past. I lost about 22 pounds doing that. I still am doing it. I feel fine. I feel great. One of the things that I've added are more nutrient-based, like minerals and vitamins and that kind of thing. And turmeric is really good for my arthritis. It eliminates inflammation that has built up in my body. I have really bad arthritis in my right hip, and when I take the turmeric, not only does it help get rid of a lot of waste that I have in my body, but it alleviates that inflammation that goes out through the waste. So, and I can have more mobility and less pain, and so that's very helpful. And at night sometimes I'll use what is called Calm. It's a magnesium with a little bit of calcium, because calcium contracts your muscles. Also, if you have restless leg syndrome, tonic water helps. Tonic water. It's kind of it's in a clear bottle. It's got a yellow label. Anyway, so if you drink that until the restless leg syndrome goes away, that will alleviate it. So you drink that at night, and that helps. So, which I have to get some for myself, and that's why I'm just thinking of it right now. So that's what's happening, and cultivate those friendships that you have, and get more friends, and get more involved in things that you enjoy doing. It's so important for your own health. Find that passion that you like to do, whether it be music or art or what, helping people. But being around people, and touch is love, touch is healing. So, give yourself that time to be with people, and to give a hug every now and then. Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye.